Glory, glory, glory. Hallelujah. Uh, well, good day, good day, good day. I hope everybody, I hope everybody day is going lovely as always. I hope everybody day is going lovely. I hope everybody day is going lovely today. So far, uh, that weather, man. That's the weather, the weather, the weather. I thought it would be super hot by now, but that weather, it's it's not cold, cold. I had to bring Patrice to work this morning. We left out the door about 4:30 this morning. And, that wind was blowing out there. But like I said, since I didn't change about 3 years since I didn't change my the way I eat, any little wind blowing now I get cold. So me is I'm always cold. Now I take iron pills. Did I take it this morning? I think I did take one. I think I'm not sure. I forgot. But yeah, I get cold and a little. I just cut the heat on in the house. But I get cold for any little, not any little breeze, but it's definitely been and weather out there definitely been surprising me for for a few days. However long we've been having this weather, but it's been surprising me for the last few days. Um, but I want to talk in the title. I put March 17, 1979 in the title. That was yesterday. I was supposed to come on yesterday. Uh, March 7th, March 17th, 1979 will always be a day that that I don't think me, my siblings, or my entire family will never forget March 17th, 1979. It was a day it was a day that someone did to all of us was lost. Um, a day that we all lost, a big part by me being five, which would make it 44 years yesterday. And I don't too much think about it. It's and me witnessing it. I'm glad I haven't that haven't been no heavy on me to really think about it like that. Maybe it's because I was five, but I remember everything that happened that day. Still, and I'm 49, so I remember everything that happened that day. Um, but what I want to talk about is trauma and the trauma we face. That in the black community, um, especially in the church, uh, we're not supposed to. It's been told us that we got to toughen up when we deal with things such as loss like that. But I think a lot of us, I, that's why me personally, I don't tell nobody how to grieve and how to act when something tragic happened or the loss of someone. Because I think we've been told that for so long. Don't act this way. Don't cry this much. Don't do this. And but I refuse to tell somebody how to grieve. My only thing will be don't stay in that grieving period forever. That would be my only thing, but I would definitely never tell nobody how to grieve because none of us know how we'll act in traumatic situations, and I believe to a certain extent that all of us deal with PTSD to a certain extent. It's not just because you've been in the gang or been in the service that, and that's not discrediting people been in the service. I never do that. I never discredit anybody that been to the service or any type of trauma. But you don't have to be in a service to suffer from PTSD. It could be things that you went through in childhood, like uh, coming home and your lights always off, or y'all having to get put out and moved to different places. That's trauma. That's PTSD. That's trauma. Uh, so, um, but we've been, like I said, in the church and in the black community, we've been told to toughen up, toughen up. You can't, you better not show no weakness and things of that nature. That's why we have a lot of people walking around here, uh, in their 40s and 50s, 60s, angry with the world because they never dealt with the trauma or never talked about it or keeping it in. And look, I'm a big advocate of sitting with your own thoughts, but at some point you're gonna have to let those thoughts out and approach it in a different way to deal with that trauma, man. Because if you don't, that stress and all that stress, that depression, all that stuff will set in, and it'll have you do something that you'll regret. Um, so it's good to get that out and stop denying. We got to stop denying that we don't have a problem. Um, I can remember maybe it was 2020, March 17th, 2020. I think it was 2020 or 2021. I can't remember what year it was. That was the first. I was at work, and all of a sudden, because I never thought about March 17th, 1979 like this, and all of a sudden I was at work, and all of a sudden it just came on me, boom, and I cried the whole day, and I didn't know, but after that, it was like, I didn't know I was really dealing with March 17th, 1979 like that, because like I said, I was young. I remember everything, but thank God I never had no nightmares or anything uh like that or anything of that nature. I still remember as clear as like it was yesterday. But just that day is when it came, and I guess it was time for me to just release all that. And it wasn't a good day for me, right? But after that, I felt so much better. I felt so much better too, and I was able to move on. But like I said, we have people that deal with trauma and deal with that stress and the depression, and we stay. It will lock up and lock in and like I say, then you have people that harms themselves when things, or they harm others when things like that, they don't deal with it. Um, like I say, in the black culture and in the church, we're taught you better toughen up. We built for that. Um, but it can mess you up. It can mess you up if you don't seek help, or if you don't talk about it. It'll mess you up. It'll have you not even knowing that it messed you up. It will mess you up, and you not even knowing. Um, there's many people, man, that's suffering in silence. That's suffering in silence. Mental health is real, you know. Because it's been okay. It's been made to think, like if somebody say I'm going to talk to somebody, I'm going to seek a psychiatrist. It's been frowned upon, and we want to say that people is crazy, but that's not really That's not crazy. You don't have to, just because you're talking to a psychiatrist or talking to somebody, that don't mean that you crazy or anything. It just mean that you have some things that you have to get out. Um, I'm putting this out for people who is experiencing that. Please talk to somebody, because I'm telling you that stuff a build up, and it'll have you doing something that you don't want to do. Um, so I would say seek some help. You know what I'm saying? Before I go any further, we was in Bible study Thursday and I was teaching. Phone was ringing, not my phone. So my phone was ringing, it kept ringing. And while we was in Bible study, while I was teaching, got to call somebody who attend church, found them dead on the floor. So you know, um, things like that happens. Um, things like that happens. You know, well, that's trauma. That's part of trauma when somebody loved one die, and you're not expecting your loved one to die, because nobody don't expect. Even though we're all gonna die, but nobody expect their loved ones to go. You know, so but we need to learn how to deal with those losses and all those things. And sometimes, like I said, I had to deal with that. That cry was a good cry. It's 2020 or 2021, whatever, on the anniversary of that. I don't. This is just me. I don't knock what nobody do. I don't knock what nobody post. I don't knock what nobody say. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me. You'll never see me post happy heavenly birthday and things of that nature. Really rest in peace. You'll never see me posting that. The reason why is I the reason for being better. Uh, I know better when a person die. Time stops with that person. It's no more birthdays. There's no more. But that's me. Scripture tells me that. So that's me. And like I said, I'm not knocking nobody for posting these things. Uh, that's no knock on. It's no knock on no one else or anything like that. It's no knock on or no knock on no one. Uh, like I say, y'all like, subscribe, whatever you call that. Do all that to the page. Share whatever. But dealing with trauma, right? It's like I said, it don't have to be some of it be major, and some of it don't have to be major. Losing a loved one is major. You know, like I said, dealing with that day, that March 17th, 1979, it changed. March 17th, 1979, it changed me and my siblings' lives forever. Not just our lives, but it changed our whole family uh, lives. Uh, it changed everything that day, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was the first tragedy in our family that we ever experienced. My mind. Yes, like I said, I was gonna come on yesterday because it was 44 years, and this is not a video of sadness or anything like that. Like I said, I really released that in 20. That was 20 or 20 March 17th, 2020 or 2021, where I cried the whole day, and I finally dealt with it. Right, like I said, I was 5, but I can remember it like it was yesterday. So I'm thankful that I never had no nightmares or anything like that. But trauma can uh trauma can mess you up and you not even know that you're messed up. It can mentally mess you up because if you don't deal with it, it will mentally mess you up the older you get, and you keep it inside of some of us. Uh, some of us mass trauma or try to hide from it because you can't hide from it, uh, or anything like that. You can't hide from things that happened in your past, like situations, tragic situations, a thing, or loss. You can't hide from it. It's best to face things head on instead of hiding from it or masking it. Some people use drugs. Some people use alcohol. Some people use uh, uh, some people use sex, some people use abuse, and they use all these things to mask uh, the thing that they're trying to suppress. To get away from that issue that they're having, they turn to something else to block that. But when all that stuff come down, that issue is still at hand. It's still there. The issue, until you deal with it, it's never gonna go away. But if you get it out, you can live. You can live better. You can live easier. Um, you know what I'm saying? You can live easier. Um, like I say, yeah, I had to deal with that, man. That trauma in that situation, because for me, I'm saying for me, I can't speak for my siblings, can't speak for family members. I just know that really changed from what I can see, or what I can envision. That really that tragic situation that happened really changed us. You know, uh, I think in some ways that situation made me become the man that I am today. Uh, it made me become the man who I am today. It also that situation also made me envy people with mothers. You know what I'm saying? Who envy people who had mothers around. Uh, it also made me be kind of angry with people who treat their mothers bad. It also made me angry with those people who treat their mothers bad. I don't care what shape, form, what your mother did, still your mother. And I think we're supposed to honor. The Bible says, honor thy mothers and thy fathers as well. But that situation helped me to be the man I am today, and I'm thankful for it. Uh, I, I I I often wished and prayed and hoped that I had a mother, still had my mama around till I'm 49 or whatever. But that wasn't in God's plans for me. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't in God's plan. That wasn't God's plan for me. It was for God's plans for me to have her for 5 years, and it was time. Um, but sometimes I wish that I could have had her for years and years upon years. That's why I look at people with their mom, you 40, 50, 60. I'm around people, man, I'm around people. Man, I was just around somebody last week, mama 95, and he's in his 60s. You know what I'm saying? He's in his 60s, and his mama 95, just had me 95. And that blessed my soul. Then his mama's sharp. She's sharp. 95 years old, she's sharp. So I can't, and I don't even like to use this word because it's not me. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I was actually kind of jealous. I was actually kind of jealous of a soldier, 61 years old, still have his mama and her, however old his mama is, to still have his mom, his wife. still got her mama. So jealousy, I'm jealous of the, and like I said, I'm using jealousy in a good way, not a bad way, like I just hate, or whatever. Jealous of that, still having mama around. It's amazing to me. So, and I can't see how people don't cherish them relationships. My wife still have her mama around, mother-in-law still around, just made 68 years old. So, it's people like that that I'm like, man, that's, you got to cherish that. I ain't just talking about that. So, relationships we got to start cherishing, man. Family members we got to start cherishing. Um, and I cherish my family members, right? I may not see them, my siblings. I may not see them all the time because I'm I am my way, right? Uh, but to speak down on them or to do anything that place harm on them, that's something I never do. I never do that. Family members as well. My family members, we don't see each other all the time, and I'm not saying it's nobody's fault because I could put out more effort to put in more effort to see and talk to. But I'm my way. Uh, uh, I just do things a certain way, and there's no knock on nobody. It's not that I don't want to be around. I just do it how I do it. It's nothing against nobody. It's nothing but I do cherish the relationships. I do cherish the family. I do cherish my siblings. I definitely do. Um, cherish cherish all my siblings. But you know, I often think, I often think, if my moms would have still been around, how our lives, how our lives much, how much different our lives. Not that we have bad lives, but uh, I often think about my mom was still living. How our lives would be. Excuse me, y'all. Mother-in-law fix some cabbage. She fixed me some. They got meat in theirs, but she fixed me some. I ate a little plate of that not long ago. She fixed me some cabbage, but she fixed cabbage. She took some and put it in a separate pot for me with some potatoes in it. It was good. I had it over the little rice and I had a little. She fixed some cornbread, so I ate that a little while ago. I'm good for the night. All I could eat one time, I'll be full the whole day. You know, I remember a time when it wasn't that I was full. I had to eat three, four, five times. But now one time a day I'll be good. One time a day, and get me a few fruit in here and there. But one time, whether it's a salad or it's something like cabbage or some beans with some no meat in it, one time a day, I'm good. And I get me a little fruit here and there. Um, but man, there was some things I sit back and just wonder about. I've learned over the years. I've learned how to deal with, and I learned how to deal with those thoughts and stop those thoughts. Different thoughts from running in my head and getting inside my own head and things of that nature. I learned that, and it's not nothing that I did on my own. It's because of Jesus Christ. It's because of Jesus Christ. I've learned to take control of that. It's because of Jesus Christ. But man, that you know, just to look at all of the tragedy that's happening in the streets, not just of New Orleans, but all around the world, and people are losing family loved ones to violence, to sickness, and all these things, especially the violence. Um, how these people must feel. You know what I'm saying? About or what these people are going through. To in some families we had, and some families have tragic murders and whatever back to back to back to back. And to be able to deal with that, man, whew, it's got to be divine intervention that help you deal with that kind of trauma. You know, it's got to be divine intervention to deal with that. And that's what helped me. It was divine intervention. It was Jesus Christ that helped me to deal with the trauma and the things that I I I had to deal with. And I got scriptures. And so when I do actually get the feeling a little down or whatever, I open up the scripture and begin to read and begin to pray and begin to meditate on the word. And it helps me to deal with the things that I'm dealing with. Some folks just don't know how to deal with it, and some folks is not going to deal with it. That's why we have a bunch of angry people walking around angry for no apparent reason until we figure out that we're dealing with trauma and that we're dealing with loss. Until we learn how to deal with these things, it's gonna forever be some angry stuff, some angry people walking around. And it's more and more today. You know, so we got to learn how to deal with that trauma, the things that we went through. Because some of us have some things in our childhood, and we in our 40s and 50s, and we still never dealt with. And then you got more stuff over the years that then piled up on top of that. And why I say some people use alcohol, they use drugs, they use sex, they use abuse, and they use aggression towards other people to to uh to mask that uh that trauma that they went through instead of dealing with it. Because for so long we've been told you got to tough it out, you got to remain tough. You can't, especially in the church. You sound weak if you say you're going through anything. Nah, we all deal with things. You know what I'm saying? We all deal with things. We all deal with things. We all deal with it. It's time to start addressing that stuff and getting better. I had to address the things that I dealt with from childhood up until now. You know what I'm saying? I had to deal with that. I had to meditate. I had to read. I had to pray. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm feeling those things, I know where to go through. I know where the source is at. I know where to go at. You know what I'm saying? So but some people don't. And some people who do know how to go there, they wanna smooth their trauma over and the things that they're dealing with a tough with a tough man or tough woman uh facade. You know what I'm saying? That's what we learn to do. We learn to do that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of dealing with it. But I had to deal with that trauma, man. I had to deal, 2 years ago, man. I'm telling you, I didn't know I was dealing with my mama like that. But it was that cry all day was good for me. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I was supposed to get on here yesterday because that was the anniversary of that traumatic situation, that loss, that terrible loss, that, like I said, changed myself and my sibling lives forever, and my entire family lives forever. You know what I'm saying? That day, March 17th, 1979, that changed our lives forever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful that God brought that to the forefront and allowed me to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And allowed me to deal with that, man. And it's been a blessing to deal with that because I never knew I was dealing with it like to that extent. You know, because like I said, we amass things, and over the years, up until I met Christ, I was massing, uh, I was massing that stuff with alcohol and drugs and things of that nature. I masked it. Uh, but when them highs wears off, you still faced with that problem, whatever it is, you got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. You know, our family our entire family, um, we have debt in our family. We have had debt, but we don't get the tragic. Tragic. It's only been three real tragic, violent situations in our family. Only three. I know some families that have them. They'll be year after year, and sometimes they'll skip a year, and then they'll have another violent death. Um, but we don't have it. So when uh, something like that hit us, I think it hit us totally. Not saying that it don't hit those families different, but it hit us different. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't experience that violent. We experience that people in our families and die, but I'm talking about that violent death. We don't experience that like that. Like I said, far as I can remember, my mama was the first one. You know what I'm saying? My mom was the first one, and then my cousin, he was, I think he was the second. And we had another tragic end with my auntie, but glory be to God that no one died in that situation. But we don't experience those violent deaths like some family do, and some family experience them. Man, I'm telling you, I have been around. I know um, families deal with them violent deaths, man, and it's got to be take a toll on people mental. It has to take a toll. You know what I'm saying? It has to. You know, so like I said, we have to deal with it, man. We have to deal. We can't feed into the stigma of toughen up and be strong. We can't feed into that stigma because I'm telling you, that stuff will pile up and you'll do something to yourself or do something to somebody else that you'll regret. So it's time to get rid of all that, man. It's time to throw that to the wind and let that go where it's at. I decided to give all my stuff to Jesus. Lord, you could bear better than me. You know what I'm saying? Almost had another tragic in 2001 when my son was born, when Sean was born. It could have turned, out um tragic, but it didn't, man. God um allowed him to still be here 21 years later. So all that I still remember those. My first son, I still remember that time. That was a trying time. That was a real trying time when he was in the hospital and things of that nature. So dealing with him for 21 years, his early years happened. His early years, children's hospital was my second home in his early part of his years. So work to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Work to the hospital, from work to hospital. Some days I had to take off because he was in and out the hospital. So it's things of that nature that I had to deal with. I had to get out in front of uh, because it's been my 49 years. It's been some dark days. You know what I'm saying? It's been some dark days until 99 when Jesus stepped on the scene. It's been some dark days. And let me tell you something, because Jesus stepped on the scene, I don't mean days get easier. I'm not saying that either, but I have hope. So I know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? There was times when I didn't know how to deal with it, when I just shut down, you know what I'm saying? But now I know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? God has placed some people, especially my wife, you know, people in my life that brings me comfort. My kids, you know what I'm saying? So he know just what to do. You know what I'm saying? Mother-in-law, place those people in my life, and family, siblings, place people in my life too, that are now I can understand, because at one time I ain't understand nobody and I ain't want to hear nothing from nobody. It was times like that, but now, man, life is way better, man. I'm telling you, ain't nothing like serving the Lord Jesus Christ, man. Ain't nothing compared to that. No one compares to him. Without him, I am absolutely nothing. With him, I'm all things. You know what I'm saying? But without him, I'm absolutely nothing. So, you know, but that trauma, man, I'm telling you, that trauma, living in poverty for years and years is trauma. It can be trauma. You know what I'm saying? It's different things. Hearing gunshots, you know, or seeing people getting gunned down the street, that's trauma. You know, it's all kind of it's you know, uh stress, all that, all those things. Seeing things, you know, that's not normal to see. You know, seeing somebody, what's up, what's up? What's up, man? Yeah, you listening in, huh? What's up, man? Yeah, all right, huh? It's almost that time, but you got a few hours left. And I lost it saying, you know, I'll be there. But, you know, trauma, dealing with it, you know, dealing with that trauma, man, is you got to learn, we got to learn how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? If not, it can overtake you. It will, or not can, but it will overtake you if you don't deal with the trauma, you know what I'm saying, of loss. You see what I'm saying? Of loss. You know, not having a mother coming up was difficult for me. It sure, as I'm sure it would, I'm speaking from my me. I can't, because I'm not inside my siblings' body or their minds. I can't say how to. So when I say me, I'm not speaking selfishly, like it's woe is me. I'm not speaking like that, but I can't speak for them. They have their own. They went through a different, and hopefully I could get them on there and they can explain, you know, how they dealt with that. You know what I'm saying? So I can't, when I say me not having that, I'm talking about my experience. Everything is my experience. I can't speak for nobody else's experience, how how somebody else got over whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying for me, growing up without a mother was hard. I already grew up without my dad being a dad. You know what I'm saying? This is no knock on him, but he had his own things that he was dealing with. Uh, I'm not angry with him, but growing up without a mama, that was difficult for me. You know what I'm saying? And to be, yeah, I had people around me, but that can't replace, you know, mama. It can't replace mama. You know what I'm saying? It can't replace mama. So it's a lot of things that I had to learn on my own. You know what I'm saying? Learn on my own. They say experience is the best teacher. A lot of things I had to learn on my own. So that's why I say, when I say in ways, um my mama, that has taught me, is it has taught me how to be a man. My dad not being around has taught me how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? So I've witnessed some people who've been brought up, and men who's been brought up with their parents, and they can't really stand on their own. I witnessed them around people. They can't really stand on their own. You know what I'm saying? But my experience in life period has brought me to who I am today. You know what I'm saying? It has brought me to who I am today. You know, and I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change nothing in my life. The only one thing I would change if I had more time with moms. For me, if I had more time with moms, that's what I would change about my life. If I had more time, some more years with moms, because only 5 years is such a short time. It's a short time. Um, I, it's crazy that that in those 5 years, that the memories of being around her I don't have that memories like that. I don't remember to, but I can remember the day, March 17, 1979, that tragic incident that happened. I can remember that like yesterday. You know, that's something how God does things. But I don't remember a lot of experiences I had with my mom that I could remember from 1 to 5. You see what I'm saying? That's not, you know, I it's not in my it's not in my spirit, you know. But that day, March 17th, 1979, is in my spirit, and I remember it. Uh, so like I said, man, I'm joyful. You know what I'm saying? I'm joyful for everything that the Lord is doing in my life. I'm joyful for where I'm at. I'm forever grateful, man. I'm indebted to the Lord forever, man. I'm indebted. I'm indebted to him. I owe him. You know what I'm saying? I owe him for the experience that I had, up until this point. The experience, listen, the experience I had with Jesus over these last 23 years is unmatched. The experience I had with Jesus over these last 23 years, God was watching over you. Yeah, you're right, man. God was watching over you. He had plans for you. He sure did. He definitely, yeah, yeah, he definitely had plans. And it's, listen, he ain't stop here. But this is something I want to get on here, just talk about today. Deal with trauma, man. Trauma is no joke to deal with. Uh, but I do believe that it makes you. It came about to make you stronger. Unfortunately, some people don't deal with trauma well. Some people don't deal with tragedy well. I'm gonna say some people don't deal with tragedy well. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't take tragedy well. It takes some people. It takes them a lifetime to recover from tragic events. You know what I'm saying? Some people, and how I know Katrina was a tragic event, and you got people walking around still messed up from Katrina. You know what I'm saying? People still messed up from Katrina. That was even a traumatic event when you got to be uprooted. Katrina was a traumatic event because you that was trauma because you being uprooted and you didn't even ask to be uprooted. See what I'm saying? Uh, I'm not faulting God for that because what happened, it happened. I'm not faulting no all them stories about they broke the. I don't care nothing about who broke the levers and what happened. It happened. The tragedy happened. The trauma happened, and they got people walking around, especially the kids that was kids during that time, you know, walking around holding that. You know what I'm saying? Holding that. Uh, could the government did more to counsel these kids? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's also the parents' job to do that too. Get these kids counseling. You know what I'm saying? Because you uprooted. That's another thing some of the adults need to seek help for too. Cause you uprooted from something that you didn't ask for, something that you used to, something that you know, and then you just pushed away from. You know what I'm saying? You just pushed away from. You know, and people never really dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? The structure of New Orleans changed. Uh, Before Katrina, we everybody 10 minutes apart. You know what I'm saying? You could go by somebody's house. Man, I'm gonna pass over there. Here. All right, 10 minutes, you show up over there. All that was gone. You know what I'm saying? The whole structure of New Orleans was different. So it's trauma all over, tragedy all over, and we got to learn how to deal with it. Deal with it is what we have to do. You know what I'm saying? Instead of lashing out, because it's nobody's fault. You go through what you go through. It's nobody else's fault. Why be angry with people because you feeling the way you feel? It's not right to be angry with somebody else because you suffered a loss, or you know what I'm saying. Everyone needs counseling after that situation, right? You're right. The adults, kids, everybody, the pets if they're still living. But nah, man. Man, that just is serious. Mental illness is serious. It's serious. We was riding the day when I got my wife. We riding the day on Eulora Street off of Tulane. This guy, he was so jacked up on drugs. Man, he was. I don't know what was going. He took his shirt off. He was jumping around and screaming and hollering. It's man is you know. I don't know what happened in his life to push him towards that. You know what I'm saying? But he's there. You know what I'm saying? And they took these mental health facilities away, and you know what I'm saying? Everything is so expensive. You know, you know what I'm saying? Everything's so expensive, and everything has a price on it now. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people got to self-medicate. It's the worst thing. The worst thing in the world to do is self-medicate yourself. The worst thing. I'm telling you, man. But like I said, this is getting on here is a release for me. You know what I'm saying? To be able to talk. And I told my wife, I'm gonna go sit down and talk with somebody. I am. But like I said, I read scripture. I go to the Lord in prayer, uh, meditate, and all that. Um, but I'm gonna sit down and not that I'm crazy. I'm gonna just sit down and talk with somebody. That's what I'm gonna do. Just I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna get somebody to sit down and talk to. Ain't nothing wrong, but I still need to talk to somebody and get some things out because they might can find something a little deeper. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Um, like I said, ain't like I ain't losing my mind or anything. You know, but I am gonna talk to somebody. Yeah, I'm gonna do that soon. Excuse me. Um, like I say, I have a lot of support. A lot of. Let me tell you something. God has blessed me with a woman, a wife. That's why scripture said when a man find a wife, he find a good thing, right? And this is not me saying this on camera like this and in front of just to say it. This is what I mean. Um, God has blessed me with a wife that partner, a mate, a help meet that that's gonna support me in whatever I do. You know what I'm saying? Gonna have my back in every situation there is to have my back in. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. I'm the same way. I'm gonna have her back. We gonna. I told her, uh, and my wife always give me uh the she allowed me to be a man, right, and be the man, and be a man. And the final decision always come down to me. But what I'm not that much in my own self or in my own ego that yeah, I got it. I'm that's not me. So I always throw it back to her and say, go ahead and handle that. Whatever you decide, we gonna go with it. I always told her we not gonna throw each other under the bus, man. We gonna hold hands and jump off the bridge. And whatever the decision it is, we're gonna jump off that bridge together. I ain't gonna throw her under the bus, and she ain't don't throw me under the bus. We gonna whatever decision we come with, we gonna make that decision, and that's what we going with. So, uh, she allowed me to be the man, be a man. She allowed me to be a man, and she'll never overstep that. And you're right, nothing wrong with seeking counsel. And this is like I said, she's in the comments. It's not because she's in the comments that I'm saying this, but she know I done told her so we have talks all the time. But when you have somebody in your corner like that, when you have somebody that's that'll ride with you, whether right or wrong, um, to go out here and make them look stupid, you got to be a fool. There's many men and women that's in situations or that's in marriages that's making each other look like fools. And I watch it over and over. Let me tell you something about this internet. This internet is destroying people. It's just these platforms are destroying people. The uh and can I say these platforms? I mean, some people playing a dangerous game on these different platforms, doing too much, exposing too much of themselves on these platforms, uh, exposing other people, doing other people dirty, man. It shouldn't be used for that. Uh, this should be used to spread positivity and it should be this should be for teaching. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, it's not, man. But we can't make our spouses look like fools out here. To stroke our own egos. That go for man or woman, vice versa. We shouldn't be out here doing no thing. If you're a wife and you married, ain't no way. Even if your husband allow it, ain't no way you should be on the internet naked with nothing on or next to nothing on. Even if your husband allow it, you're supposed to have more respect for yourself and for y'all union to be like, no, indeed, I ain't doing that. And vice versa, man, ain't no way you should be out here and you got a spouse and you out here cheating and beating her all on the internet. You're not only disrespecting her, you're disrespecting yourself because Bible said y'all become one flesh. So you're not only disrespecting yourself. If y'all have kids, you're disrespecting your kids too. So it's we gotta do better, and that's all a part. People do things, and that's all a part. They don't want to deal with that trauma. Like, they don't want to deal with that trauma, and they'll do things to to make themselves look good. You know what I'm saying? The man winding down to an hour. I'm gonna read these scriptures and I'm gonna get out of here, but I'm winding down to the hour. So I'm gonna read a few scriptures that's gonna help us to deal with the trauma. This is how I deal with trauma and what helped me to when I go through those moments of depression trying to come on or whatever. I go to scriptures like this. Isaiah 41:10. It says, "Fear thou not." It says, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am the Lord thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." That's how I deal with it. I go in there, read scriptures like that, and I meditate on them, and I pray. Let me get to some more scriptures. Man, I'm tripping off. It's got to be it. I'm tripping. All right. First Peter 5:7. It says, "Casting all your care It says, First Peter 5:6, it says, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. Verse 7, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. That's a big, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. That was big for me. That helped me to release the things that was a weight, and still do. When I cast everything upon Lord, I can't handle this burden too big for me. Uh, you got to deal with it. I can't deal with it. It's such a load on me, Lord. And guess what he do? He come and grab it, and it's gone. Hallelujah. Psalms 34:4, it says, I sought the Lord and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. It's another one that Psalms 23, 1-6. These scriptures here, Psalms 23, 1-6. People use these as funeral, but these scriptures are for living people. They use it and they put it on what you call that, the little programs. These just for living people. These scriptures here, and people want to quote them at funerals and things like that, and pertain to the person that's laying in a casket or whatever. But these scriptures, Psalms 23, 1-6, is for the living. It says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Verse 2, it says, he making me to lie down in green pastures. He leading me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. He leading me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, do I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Verse 6, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. 2 Timothy chapter 1. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. It said, for God had not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Last scriptures. Matthew chapter 11, verses 28-30. It says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Verse 29, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your souls. Last verse, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. That is how I get. That's how I get. That's how I get over the trauma. And when those dark days hit, that's how I get over it. You know what I'm saying? I hope what I said can comfort somebody and help somebody deal with the grief and the anguish and all those things that comes with trauma and tragedy. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, with the anniversary of March 17, 1979, which was 44 years ago. Yesterday made 44 years. Something that's gonna be etched in my mind and my spirit forever. You know what I'm saying? To those that still have parents alive, cherish and honor your parents. I know sometimes parents may get on your nerves and may say things that you don't like, but you got to suck that up. I don't care how grown a man or woman you think you are, or whatever. I don't care how old you are. Gotta respect. Gotta respect moms. You gotta respect dad. I don't care how old you are or wait, what you think, because once they are gone, especially moms, once mom's gone, there is no more. You ain't gonna be able to fill that void. I'm sorry. I don't care if your mama the biggest crackhead or whatever prostitute or alcoholic there is. Once she's gone, you can't get that back. I'm sorry. You'll never get that. You'll never ever in your life get that back. You know what I'm saying? What's up, sister in law? You'll never ever in your life get that, get that back. It's impossible to get that back. It's impossible to get um once a life is gone, it's impossible to get that back. All you'll have is the memories. So if you all you'll have is the memory, let's try to make them good memories. Not just mom, I'm talking about with everybody, we family members, friends. Let's try to make these memories good. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to make, like I said, oh, I know I don't talk to my family. I don't talk to my siblings every day, but like I said, it's got nothing to do with nobody. There's no beef. It got nothing to do with nobody. It's just that I'm my own I'm my own way, but it don't stop me from loving them and respecting them. I'm just my own way. I like to spend a lot of time with myself. I like to stay out the way. Um, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm in the house with my wife and kids, mother-in-law, sometimes I'm all to myself, but that's just me. I always been like that. I'll be all to myself. But man, let's cherish each other, man. We don't have to talk to each other every day, but let's cherish each other, man. Let's uh let's respect each other, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to do. Um, we have to start respecting each other and uh and start, and most importantly, start dealing with that trauma, that start dealing with that stuff. Let's start dealing with the traumatic situations. Start dealing with, pull that stuff up from past and start dealing with that so you can get that stuff out. Because the more it lie dormant, right? It'll come out. It's gonna come up one day, and you can react in a way that you don't want to react, but it's gonna be out of your control. Or you can react in a way that you shouldn't be reacting, that can result in something that you'll regret later on. So I say, start dealing with them and start pulling that stuff out and pulling that stuff to the forefront and kick it out. You know what I'm saying? The only way you could kick it out, you pull it out and deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I had to do in this situation is deal with March 17th, 1979, instead of holding that in and being angry at the events of what happened. And them events of 1979, it was out of my control. Ain't nothing I could have did to stop that. Ain't nothing nobody could have did to stop that. You know what I'm saying? Everything was then and is not as in God's will to help to happen. So there's nobody to get angry for and nothing that goes on. Some things we can prevent and some things we can stop. And the things that we can prevent and stop, we need to start getting out in front of that stuff. But a lot of stuff is out of our controls that we can't stop and that we can't get out in front of. It's just gonna happen. That's gonna be what it's gonna be, and it is what it is. I don't care what we try to do, things just gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But the things that's in our control, get out in front of that and stop that. Because there's things in our control that we can stop. You know what I'm saying? But some things we just can't control. Um, like I said, let's start dealing with that tragedy, with the past traumas and things, because that stuff will build up. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I've been on here an hour, man. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I pray that the rest of y'all day goes by as beautiful as the first part of your day. And wonderful as the first part of your day is. Like I say, subscribe to the channel, like and share the videos, man. This is like I said, I was supposed to get on yesterday, but I didn't. I didn't. I waited till today to get on. Y'all be safe, man. Um, if you have parents and you older in age and you have parents, man, love your parents. Call, tell them you love them or something, man. Because I'm telling you, once they're gone, you get no more chance to tell them anything. You get no more chance. Once they're gone and you're talking to the wind. So do it now. I don't care how much they get on your nerves, how much they might say things. You got to respect that and keep it moving. I don't care how grown you are. I don't care if you're 40, 50 years old. You got to respect moms, parents. It don't matter how old you are. How many times you've been married, how many kids, it don't matter. Because at the same time, you got kids, look at it this way. You want your kids to respect you to the highest, no matter how old they get. So you got to do your parents the same thing. You got to respect your parents. Don't matter if you're married or with kids or grandkids. It don't matter. It does not matter. Hopefully I'm speaking to somebody, man. It does not matter. It does not matter. Your mama is your mama. Your daddy is your daddy, regardless of the fact. I don't care how many times they messed up, because you messed up as a parent. I messed up as a parent. Everybody messed up as a parent. So it don't matter what they did or whatever they did or how they mad. None of that matter. None of that matter. Your mama could be the biggest coke fiend in the world, but you better love and honor and respect and protect her. You know what I'm saying? Be the biggest alcohol going. You better love, honor, protect, and respect her. You know, whatever. You just gotta respect, man. But listen, love y'all, man. But Jesus love y'all more. Peace.